What's up, y'all? We're here,
Yeah.
Crazy Lizzie's Goat Farmer More, with our first ever live video. So, today we come and we want to talk about, what are we talking about today?
Us. Our farm.
Our farm. We're talking about us.
Us.
Us talking about us. So,
That's right.
we're just going to wait just a couple minutes, maybe a minute, to see if anybody else pops on here.
Yep.
And that's basically what we're doing.
Our first live. We're hitting big time now.
Woo, we're hitting big time. We're live.
Yes, we are. We're live.
See if anybody pops on here. I know we're doing this a little early today in the daytime, so people probably will watch this later.
Yep.
But we actually wanted to have the opportunity to interact and communicate with y'all and everything in this video. We wanted to talk about who we are and why we do this, and we want to just have build our community. Sort of weird because I have myself in my ear, and it's like a couple seconds behind.
Well, get yourself out.
Yeah.
Is that kind of like hearing voices talk to yourself?
You're not supposed to have that problem.
I don't know.
Man, now I learn.
I figure as long as I talk to myself, I'm smart. I can answer myself.
Same here now, you know.
I agree with myself. It says in the Lord, encourage yourself. I guess I'm trying to encourage myself.
So let's go ahead and talk about what we're talking about. People probably jump in here as we're going, and people probably watch this later. Again, we're doing this early because we have other stuff we got to do today.
Yes.
We got a parade today I got to go to and take pictures of. Mama's been out of town at the hospital with Norma because she's not doing good, so y'all please pray for her.
Yes, please pray for her.
And
Susan wants to make homemade bread.
I do!
And so my plans is to start doing more live videos on Tuesdays, since I'm not doing the encouragement videos here on Tuesdays all the time. So my plans is to have it on Tuesday around maybe 5 or 6 o'clock Central Time. So that way we can communicate with y'all more, we can interact more, we can learn from each other and just build our friendship.
Yes.
So we're gonna start by talking about who we are. Who are we?
Who are you?
I don't know. I'm asking. I don't have a name badge.
Crazy Lizzie. Goat Farm.
I'm Crazy Lizzie.
That's what your shirt says?
I'm Crazy Lizzie. Man, I always
says
thought
Crazy
Susan was
Lizzie,
Lizzie.
too.
No, you're crazy. I'm Lizzie.
No, that's camera guy, and this is Lizzie.
All right, so we're gonna introduce ourselves because we really haven't done this before.
No, we haven't.
So we have Daddy-O.
Yay,
Daddy, who we call Daddy-O. We have me, camera guy, Steven.
Yes.
We have Mama, a.k.a. Little Fairy.
Yep.
And we have Susan, a.k.a.
Lizzie.
Crazy.
And we just all crazy.
That's right.
We are so crazy that we had to put an extra Z in our name.
Yep,
That's
we
right.
did.
Because we're crazy. Yes.
So we are a 1-acre homestead located out of Geneva, Alabama.
South
Yes.
Alabama.
And we're in the southern part. I mean, we almost in Florida.
Yes.
I always tell everybody we're so close. Stephen can stand on the front doorstep and throw a rock and hit Florida.
We don't have no steps anymore.
We
No,
don't.
we don't.
Yeah, we used to.
But yeah, we're located in Geneva, Alabama. We're a little 1-acre homestead farm, and it's just amazing. It'll be amazing if you just see all that we have on one little acre.
It is.
I mean, it's amazing. So, but why did we start doing this, y'all?
Well, one day I woke up, got brave enough, and started my YouTube.
But when did we originally start doing our farm?
Well, I started farming a long time ago when I was a kid.
I never knew it was farming. It was a good part of my life.
We technically always mostly had chickens growing up. We just had chickens.
Yeah.
Then we grew up. Then we moved over here and we got goats.
Goats.
Yes, we advanced.
So
Well, I always grew up on a farm. When I was a little girl, we had a farm. We had cows, pigs, chickens, a big old garden and everything. And I just loved that way of lifestyle. And I wanted to share it with my family. And Chris here, he decided just to join in with me.
city boy.
That's city boy, that's right.
Texas
He's a
city boy.
He didn't know how to plant a garden or anything when we first got married. And he didn't know how to take care of cows and chickens. Well, we don't have no cow, no chickens.
He knew how to take care of them.
Yeah, eat
Yeah.
them.
See?
I spent most of my time before I got married in the Air Force moving around from base to base.
And riding horses.
Mhm.
Or the horse rode you, whichever way it went. So, but
Or why ain't that cow you used to have when you was a kid?
yeah, it was a joke in our family. He always just had this big belt buckle, and he said, "I rode a bull, and I got this belt buckle." And he had the kids believing all this time he could ride a real bull.
I rode the bull when I was a little kid.
Come to find out, it was a mechanic bull,
And his friend gave him the belt.
and his friend that rode the bull
And
gave it to him.
My grandmother had a pet cow that we rode around
Oh,
on.
poor Bucky.
Poor
Until
Bucky.
one time we come down here to visit her and we got two little chairs with cowhide seats and we had steaks for dinner and then Granny
Bucky
told
was
us that we
good.
just ate our pet cow.
Uh-huh.
Bucky was good.
Back on the belt buckle, Mama.
Oh yeah, the belt buckle was his friend. But then later on, we was out doing a river festival, and they had a mechanic bull there.
Our town special.
Yeah, it's our town special in April. And there's a mechanic bull there, and Susan went over there and says, "Daddy, if I ride the bull, will you get me a belt buckle like yours?" And she went over there and she cranked up that cow, that mechanic bull. And
He did on me.
stayed on there for 8 seconds. She was so happy. We had to go find a big belt buckle for her.
Yep.
But back to our homestead.
Mhm.
So we always had chickens mostly, depending on where we lived at the moment. But then we moved here and we got goats.
Mhm.
Why did we originally get goats, Mama?
Because Brian, my oldest son, they're brothers. He got sick one time after our house burnt down. He got afraid and his stomach started upsetting because he's autistic. And
Mhm.
I kept praying, Lord, what do I do? What do I do? Where I go? And we went all the way down to Mobile, up to Birmingham. Nobody knew what was wrong with him. But we have a great big God that knows what's wrong with him. And every time I looked on the internet, it said goat milk was good for stomachs and making yogurt was good. And so I prayed like, Lord, I don't know how to have a goat. I never had a goat. Our neighbors had a goat.
You had a Billy.
Yeah. Our neighbor had a goat, and I was scared to death of that thing because he used to come chase us in the house. And I'm like, Lord, you're going to have to help me find a goat. We went to a flea market, Sadie's, and there was this lady there that had goats. And we bought 2 goats for $35 that day.
We did.
That was
had-
funny.
We had a little bitty
Escort.
car.
It was a key.
It was
Es-
escort.
It wasn't
For
a
this.
gray one.
Yeah.
And we got 2 full-size does in there.
With
Uh-huh.
horns.
With horns.
This lady just went in there. She grabbed them up, tossed them. She taped them up, and she stuck them in there.
Yeah,
In
she
the
did.
floorboard.
And it was Brian, Stephen, and Susan in the back seat. Well, in the front seat, it was Chris driving, and I was sitting there on the passenger side, and we had a cage full of rabbits.
Yes, because I was starting getting rabbits.
All we needed was a rocking chair on top of the car.
Yeah. We driving home, and that tape starts coming on loose.
And you
And
got
I had to grab that coat and hold his legs together.
You did.
and you got to remember these goats has horns. And they go say, Mommy, they gonna get us. They're gonna get us, Mama. They're gonna get us with those horns.
Mhm.
But then we got it. Our first 2 goats, they was just
Briar
Briar
goats.
they was just bar goats. They was whatever they were.
That's
Mhm.
right.
And y'all should have seen Mama try to milk them for the first time. she tried to go over there and grab them like they're cows. Others.
Again, Mama only had
And
cows.
it don't
That's
work
right.
like a cow. It works
No.
different. You got to shut them off and then
Hey,
pull on them.
but I learned how to milk them. We got a whole little bit like this out of the first goat, you know?
Uh-huh.
And I figured out goats is like Lay's potato chips. You can't have just one.
That's right.
Because you get looking on the internet and you see people getting a gallon a day. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
a gallon? I'm getting this much. Man, something's wrong with here. And so we went off and we started finding other goats. We got Lamachi goats.
Well, we first got the Nubians.
Nubians.
No,
Nubians.
Nubians. We got Nubians
Yeah.
first.
We got Alzheimly and then
Oberhosler.
Oberhosly,
Uh-huh.
and then we got some Nubians.
Mhm.
Yes.
And then later we found the Manchis.
Yeah, we found a lady to come and wanted she wanted a buck. We had a buck for sale.
Mhm.
And then she said, well, come look at our farm. We got goats. And I went there, and the first time and you got to remember, Susan was a little bitty, what, was she, about 5?
I was
Something like
a
that.
teenager.
You was younger than that.
Teenager.
Really? But you're
Yep.
always so little. And we drove up there, and this big old black goat stuck her head out behind the barn, and she had no horns, no ears. And
No
she
ears.
said, look, Mama, a dinosaur,
Yeah.
a dinosaur.
It was a long neck. Now, okay, those were nicknamed dinosaurs.
And so that's when we got hooked on Lamanchis, because they
Mhm.
look like dinosaurs.
It's
Yes.
crazy. They look funny.
They do.
And y'all never seen a Lamanchi goat.
They were
Y'all,
really.
they weird looking.
They
'Cause
are.
just imagine just coming up and seeing that.
Yeah.
No ears.
I know, and it being black. The first one we seen was solid black, you know. I mean,
Mhm.
And then you see something like this.
Uh-huh.
No
Hairy.
ears.
Man.
They look weird. And we went to we
Yeah.
went to goat shows and people's always like, "What happened to your ears? What happened to the ears?"
My friend. Man. My friend. When we met her, we was at a goat competition. This guy come by, asked what happened to the ears. I said, okay, it's your turn, tell the story.
I know. Hey y'all, thank you for joining our live today.
Mm-hmm.
But it was so funny. We had Sky, and she was there, and this one guy come up after all day.
Yes.
He's sitting there, and people asking, "What happened to your ears? Why'd you cut them off?
Yes.
You shouldn't cut their ears off and stuff." And she says, "You know, the other day that goat wasn't doing what I wanted to do. I bit that ear off." And the guy said, "Really?" And then she says, "Yeah." He said, "What happened to the other ear?" She says, "You know, the next day the goat wouldn't do it. Now I bit that ear off again, the other ear." And that man was believing her.
Yes. Now you gotta remember.
We over there trying to keep a straight face.
Yes. And you're there all day.
Uh,
And we spent night there.
We did. And you got all these people coming up and chastising you because you hurt the goat's ears.
Yep.
And telling us how cruel we was and cut
Uh-huh.
the ears off and everything.
But y'all, we used to have to get up and milk. How many goats did we have at one
Oh, we
time?
had about
Oh.
12.
Something like that.
We had to get up like 4 o'clock in the morning and start milking goats. It wouldn't be done till almost 9 o'clock. We had a team it. Well, one of us started milking one,
And we hand milked then.
Yes, we did.
Yes. We hand milked.
and then we had to. Well, all right, tag out, tag out, tag out.
And we have one Lamancha. She gave us about 2 gallons a day, or in the morning, and 2 gallons at night. That poor goat, she had such a big udder that she'd walk and it
Yes.
would splash.
It dragged on the ground.
Yep. It did.
And it was just fun. And then we learned how to make goat yogurt and goat cheese. And can't do butter too good.
No, we don't throw our milk away.
No,
we
If
don't.
anything, it goes to the pigs.
That's
Yes.
right.
If anything.
And that one year,
Oh man, right, one year we had almost 20 gallons of
Something
milk.
like that.
the man from the wildlife museum, he come up, he found out we had goat milk in the
Mhm.
bed. He says, "Ma'am, can I get a couple of gallons?" I said, "How many do you want?" He says, "As much as you have."
He came to the house
Really?
with a little bitty
He-
toy.
He did. Man.
I said, "Sir, you better bring 4 or 5 full-size coolers.
Yeah.
Okay, I got this. He come up with 2 little coolers. He says, isn't this big enough? I said, sir, I got about 30 gallons here. How you getting them in there? He says, no! I'm like, I told y'all. I told the other man get about a whole bunch of ice coolers.
We have so much milk. We get so much milk that one year that we was just giving milks to friends and everything for the
Yeah.
animals.
I think we added up. We gave that wildlife museum about 2,000 gallons of milk.
It was a lot because it wasn't
It
just a
was.
one-time thing. He kept coming back.
I
And
know.
then we have
Because he had a whole bunch of baby deers that he.
And then we have a lady down the street that takes in stray animals,
Yeah.
and when she gets puppies and stuff, she comes and gets milk.
Yes.
We have friends who also has farms, and when they need milk, they come and we have milk
Yep,
for
they
them.
We did.
So
yeah.
I mean, it's all about helping our friends and our community out.
And we barter. Sometimes our friend has more eggs than we do, and they need milk. We get eggs. We swap around.
Mhm.
I mean, our little community we have here in Geneva,
So I mean,
we share.
and then we got into having pigs,
Yeah.
Yes.
and we first had the Yorkshires and we had different. They was mixed.
Those mixed.
Mixed.
So,
And
And it
those
was
are big
huge.
ones. Yeah.
Big pigs.
Yeah.
huge. We got this one pig one time, and we had to, whenever it got out, we had to let a little bitty chihuahua out
Yes.
to herd it back into his pen.
Yeah, that was
Craziest
so
thing I
funny.
ever seen was a little chihuahua like over there scaring this big old pig, almost 500-pound pig.
Yeah, she was huge. That was one of our friends that gave it to us because they didn't think we was going to make it. They said, well, we don't really want to put her down, but if you think y'all can handle it, you know she ain't going to make it. And next thing we know, it's about a year later, this pig weighed about 500 pounds.
Yep.
And
But she was good eats.
then we got our last sets, and we got rid of them and got coons because they were
Yes.
so big and they were so hard to handle. And Daddy was the one that went out and fed
I
them.
have
And
a whole bunch of back
they would push
problems
Daddy
and,
around.
and hard to. Don't have any strength in my joints and stuff, so when they'd hit me, I'd just end up on the ground. And found out that the coons were docile, and if they rubbed up against you, it was just like having a dog.
Yeah.
Talking about having like a dog. We raised Kiwi in the house for about 2 months.
Hey,
Yeah, we
I had
did.
to. I
Yeah.
had to get her away from her mom.
That's right.
And then we also got rabbits.
Yes.
We have New Zealand's giant chinchillas, which we raise for meat.
Yes. Them two.
And then we have
And then
lion
I
heads,
got
Nine heads
and
and my
then
mini
Mini
Rexes.
which we sell them for pets.
Yeah.
Yes.
We started off with lion heads because Susan wanted a lion head. And one of our friends had lion head rabbit.
Yes.
Did she give it to you for your birthday? I think
Something
so.
like that. Yes.
And then it's kind of like Lay's potatoes. You just can't have one. You know?
Right.
Well, you may have one if that one's pregnant.
You have 7
You
more.
have more.
And so we got lion heads, and then we went from there. We got New Zealand's,
And
And
then
giant chinchillas, and now we into mini Rexes. This
Yes.
is our first time having mini Rexes.
it is.
And as we always said, we always had chickens.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember
chickens.
being young and the mom would be like, Steven, go get a chicken. I run out there and go grab a chicken. You know, I'll sling that chicken.
Mhm.
And I'll bring that chicken to mama and say, hey, mama, here's your chicken. And it'd be like, there you go. It's always been our lifestyle.
Yeah, it has.
Yes.
It's always been our lifestyle, just raising our own food and everything.
But
And-
man, this year we've been blessed this year.
We have.
I mean,
Yeah.
we've processed 38 rabbits, I think it is. And we've done 3 pigs, and we've done several goats, and
About 50 chickens.
much more than that.
Something more,
We've
more
been
than
about
that.
70
We
goats.
did almost 40 that one time, and then we almost did 30. We did almost
Yeah,
30
about
that last
30.
Well, the
almost-
last time the chickens just wasn't that good
Yeah.
from the factory. I mean,
Yeah.
from the
We got the bunts.
or
So,
something. And we got turkeys.
Yes, turkeys.
We have this one sweet cat.
Yes.
She'll lay eggs like all year long.
I think
does.
she don't know turkeys.
Supposed
They.
to only lay once.
They're
She's
supposed
supposed
to
to lay one time in spring and one time in fall. Well, this turkey don't know that. Somebody
No, she
got to
don't.
give her that menu.
Uh huh.
The first time she
Yeah,
had 12, Then she had 7.
Yep.
Then I think she had about 10 more. And then the last time she had about 5. Like,
Yes.
man, what are we going to do with all these
We have
turkeys?
poults everywhere. Poults
Yes.
running everywhere. We walk out and they're like, when did she have?
Yes.
And why are they running around in the yard?
I know.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And then we had this one man come over. We had so many turkeys. He says, well, I'd like to get a turkey. I said, okay, fine. I'll give you a turkey.
Here.
We went boxed up 5 turkeys and gave to him. He says, what's this? Well, you know, they can't live by themselves.
Uh-huh.
We were just so tired of them. We processed 8 turkeys. Something like that.
Somewhere like that.
Yeah.
8 of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we had 9, we processed 8.
Yeah. And you gave one away. Sold one. Something like that. I can't remember any of them.
We couldn't keep track. We have so
No.
the numbers may not be correct, but we had so many. It was
Mhm.
crazy.
Yes. So and we have a small garden out front.
Fairy
A
garden.
little fairy garden. We've been successful growing tomatoes and bell peppers and peas
And
okra,
grass.
and
And
lots,
weeds.
lots of grass. Lots of grass.
Yes.
But we found out we cannot grow sweet potatoes and corn. I don't know what we're doing wrong. The other day, if you watched our video, we grew more grass than we did sweet potatoes.
Y'all did.
I think it might be because the guy that we bought the land from used to have a junkyard with cars all over the place.
Uh-huh.
There might be something in that section of the ground.
I don't know what it is, but yeah, everybody drives by and thinks our garden looks beautiful.
Yes.
We're very blessed. But Mama always said I had a green thumb.
But it's just crazy because all we have is a little acre, and you always
Uh-huh.
hear people saying they need 40 acres just
Yeah.
to start a homestead. But that's the furthest from the truth that it can be. I mean, if you can just have a raised bed, you can start off doing that.
Mhm.
The other day when we was at the Coast meetup, this one lady was sitting there eating with us, and she says, man, I need to get about 20 acres so I can have a farm. And I'm like, well, what do you have? She says, I live in an apartment. I said, do you have a balcony? She says, yes. I said, get you some flower pots. Grow you a couple
Mhm.
tomatoes and bell peppers right there. Start.
Yeah, I
She
mean,
said, oh, no, I can't. I said, why can't you? And she went on, and she asked me what I had, and I went on the list, and she said, how many acres you have? 20, 30? I said, no, ma'am, I only have 1 acre. She said, do what? 1 acre?
1 acre.
Yes.
but it just comes to the fact that you have to figure out what you want to do.
Uh-huh.
You got to figure out what you can do, because not everywhere you can grow the same things. You may want to grow sweet potatoes, but sweet potatoes might not mean.
Mhm.
Meant for us.
That's
Alright.
right.
You may want to raise cows, but
Not here.
you may want to raise goats.
Wait a
but
minute. I want to get me a mini Jersey.
Yes, we did.
Instead of getting a new goat, I'm going to get a mini
And
Jersey.
Steven, what we're going to name it?
Moo moo.
Moo moo.
And why are we going to name it Moo Moo?
Because Susan, that's what Susan always called cow. We'd be going down the road or walking, and Susan would say, "Look, Mama, there's a moo moo."
Yeah.
Moo moos goes moo.
One day we used to walk down to Florida. Like we said, it's not very far. It's about 1/4 of a mile to Florida. And one day Susan was walking down the road. She started saying, "Moo, moo, moo! Cows go moo, moo!"
But the cows were the
And
end.
And then
the
all of a
fence.
sudden I looked and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're surrounding us. They got out. The pen had a hole in it, the fence did. And we have about 50 cows walking around. I'm like, oh my God, help me, Susan.
Stampede.
And Susan kept hollering, moo, moo. And they kept following us everywhere.
Well, I didn't know.
Oh,
I kept saying, Susan, be quiet, be quiet. She said, no, cows go moo moo, Mama, look at them, they're walking with us.
no. Well, like I said, this has always been our life. It's just been what we did.
Mhm.
Growing up. We always had chickens. We raised animals.
Now, Steven's favorite chicken is a Jersey Giant.
Yeah, no.
No.
I don't
no
like Jersey.
giant
I don't like
chicken!
Jersey Giants, and I don't like Leghorns. Y'all, growing up, when I was about 8 years old, I was only 3'6". So when I went out there and tried to feed the chickens, the Jersey Giant was about as big as I was.
Mhm.
I would have to go out there, feed the chickens. I would get the food. I would run in there. I would throw some food real quick, and I would run around, dump that bucket all around the house. and then I'll run back, grab the eggs, put them in the bucket, and run out. And the whole time that that rooster chasing me.
Yes.
Did not like me. I think what the problem was, he saw me as prey. He said, "Look, you ain't much bigger than me. I'm a little thicker than you. I'm about to have me some good old dinner."
Mhm.
Oh, and Susan used to have one that would chase her all over the yard.
I accidentally hit him with a bucket. Since then, chickens don't forget.
Oh, yeah.
They don't forget nothing.
Oh, yeah,
Since then, he chased me.
We always had farm. We always been country folks.
Yes.
And when we started doing YouTube, Susan just started doing this, like she said, just for fun.
Mhm.
She didn't know exactly what she wanted to do, so she did some makeup first. She did this next, something other else, and then she just started showing us our farm off.
Yeah.
Not knowing nothing about homesteading.
No.
Nothing about homestead YouTubers. Y'all, we didn't know there was homestead YouTubers until we went to the first Ghost Coast.
Yes.
We're like, there's other people?
Yeah, other people's doing this?
Well, we're not the only crazy people out there
Yes.
trying to grow their own food, trying to raise their own animals.
But it was funny because we were like, wow, we're called homestead. Oh, we're homesteaders now, y'all.
Yeah.
We just thought we was farmers.
That's
Yeah.
We
right.
didn't know homesteaders was a something.
I
We were just
didn't.
farmers.
But,
Old country southern Alabama farmers.
but you know, when we went down there, we thought we was gonna be, left out and stuff. But man, those homesteaders down there, the other YouTubers, just dragged us in and just said, "Hey, come on over here and do this, do that." I mean, I think that is so good that we have a community and we can rely upon one another and help. And they help us and stuff with our community. And we want our community to grow and stuff. And the other day when we was at the homestead meetup, Stephen taught me in doing something. Stephen and, is it Jesse? Yes, they taught me in doing something at the Keepers of Old Way.
Hey, look, last year I told Jesse, I said, look, next year if you want somebody to make soap, you can get
Or
my mama.
cheese.
She'll make it over a fire.
Mhm.
And we done that before. We went to an old time Civil War
Yes.
reenactment and we
Yes.
made soap there. And soap and everything.
Yes. So y'all come out on March the 31st, April the 1st, and watch me make fire. Fire. I'm gonna make fire.
She'll make fire! Fire!
Help me watch me make soap over fire. This
Yeah.
is gonna be so funny, y'all.
She's gonna dress up and
We've done it
everything.
before, so.
Yeah, but I get tongue-tied when I get in front of people. I'm gonna let Steven be the talker. And
I can't do that. I got a job. I got a responsibility. I must go around and take pictures.
That camera
Miss
guy.
With your little squirt too now, okay?
Black Tropical put up a whole bunch of little
Fire.
fires.
That might be what we are, on fire.
Yes.
We're on
Yeah, and I gotta wear that big old dress. It might catch on fire.
Mhm.
I'll be like some of those old ladies and tuck it up so it won't
Yes.
get on fire.
But this is just our lifestyle. We love doing it, and we just love sharing it. And we also love using this as a tool to witness to those
Yes.
who we can witness to.
Yeah. And another thing we like to do on our farm is bring young kids in
Yes.
and teach them how to make goat. I mean, how to milk a goat.
Yeah,
How to make a goat.
Yeah, no, to milk a
What?
goat.
we've had
That's
some
not right.
homeschoolers and
We let them come in, like a couple months ago they came in and we got them to milk a goat. There was this one older girl there. They said she won't do nothing. She ain't gonna want to do anything. Next thing you know, we kept talking to her and she was over there milking goats too, just as good as the other.
She was over there trying.
I know. And the little girl, I think she's about 4 or 5. She's up there just going like this right here.
then she ended up spraying her brother
Yeah,
with
she
it.
started squirting her brother all over.
What kind of crazy people squirt each other with milk?
I tell you. And then we taught them how to make homemade ice cream with goat
Yes.
milk in a Ziploc bag, and just teach them the way of lifestyle
Mhm.
that where you get your food from is from a farm, not just a grocery store.
Yeah.
And we just love sharing our way of life with people, and especially sharing our love of God, for everybody.
So it's just awesome of how God uses our farm and uses this YouTube channel to reach people.
Mhm.
And we love supporting our community
Yes.
here in Geneva. I like showing off Geneva. I like showing people the local businesses here, and I love just sharing with our community. And I know most of y'all who watches our videos are local people,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
because I go to places and they're like they tell me good preaching, Stephen, good preaching,
Yeah.
and everything. It's just I want that lesson, Mama. Like Charles said, making ice cream with a Ziploc bag. I want that lesson, Mama.
Come on over.
Come
I'll show you how. Oh, but it's so fun. You should see these kids. You put goat milk in there and some cream and some sugar, and they shake it all over the place.
Yes.
And you're like, please don't let us
Put it
do
in a
now.
small
In a
Ziploc bag. You put
inside
the
of a Ziploc
ingredients, and
with
then you
some
put your
ice.
ice in the bigger Ziploc
With salt.
bag
With
and
salt.
salt.
Yeah, with rock salt.
And they
you just
shake it
shake
all
it.
over the place, and you're letting these kids in your house do this. You're like, please don't spill that in my house.
Don't
Yes.
bust it.
And that one little girl that was doing the milking all over, she's throwing up in the air like, oh God, please.
Oh, we have people come over. They want to. We have wild chickens everywhere.
Oh,
Yeah.
Everywhere, y'all.
Everywhere.
Because we had chickens one time. Our neighbors had chickens, and they all got out
Mhm.
and they bred together, and now there's chickens. We may not be able to hatch our egg, but I promise you, you go out there. One day
Uh-huh.
you'll have 4 chickens, and that day you'll have 10
Yes.
because you have a bunch of beaties everywhere.
You do. Yeah.
And we have people come over all the time. It's like, hey, can I have? If I catch that chicken, can I have it? I'm like, yeah. You can
do
catch
you
that
want that
chicken.
one? Do you want that one? Do you want that one?
Yeah.
How many
If you want that
chickens?
chicken, come and catch it.
Yes, I tell you, they
Couldn't-
always.
Could make goat milk buttermilk. Goat
I
milk
have.
goat milk butter.
I've made it, but it's harder to make it because
It is.
Goat milk don't have that much fat in it.
Yeah, that much cream.
You
in it.
can. It's just, like she said, it's really hard because the fat content.
Mhm.
It all depends
Mhm.
upon the breed of
Yes.
goats you have. Just like anything else, some goats produces more fatty milk.
Yes.
Some goats don't. I
Right.
know, like
Nubians has more fat content.
yes,
Yes.
and our Lamanches.
They have more milk.
That's right. And it
Mhm.
all depends on what you're feeding them.
Yes, it does.
Because if you feed them straight grass, if they're just grazing and eating grass, they're not going to be really produce much milk
That's right.
because
Yes.
they're not grazers. They're foresters
I know.
technically.
And if they get out there and they eat the wrong kind of grass or the wrong kind of weed, your milk's gonna taste bad.
So
Mhm.
and when you do your milk, you gotta make sure you separate your bucks from your does
Yep.
because that's where you get that hormony.
That
Yeah.
milk that
Goaty.
That
you,
nasty taste that
That's
I
what
don't
everybody.
like.
When people says, "Oh, I don't like goat milk," that's what they're talking about. I
that's
don't
what
like
they
that
have when
taste.
somebody's got their goats all together
And they
and
get that bucky taste.
bucky
So,
taste.
but we separate ours, and
We could put a glass of milk from the store on the counter and put a glass of our milk next to it, and you can't tell me which one it is.
look,
Yes.
I could.
Yeah.
One tastes watered down.
Mhm.
Yeah.
One
Oh,
tastes
yeah,
like
'cause
milk.
It's just water.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, last time when I do that with people, I did that with people at work. And I said, "Here, tell me which one's the goat milk," and I drink it, and like it has to be this. It has to be this one. That one's nasty. I'm like, well, that's the good
That's
one's
a
the
store
goat milk.
brand.
And you make sure they can't see it through a
Mhm.
cloud because it is going to be a little tinser,
Creamier.
Mhm.
creamier color.
Mhm. But the way you make goat butter is you have to get a separator and you separate the milk from the cream.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it takes a lots of cream from a goat. But when you got a cow has more fat contents and it won't take as much.
Is it good for babies?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Well, I wouldn't recommend giving raw goat milk to a human baby because some of the bacteria is not good for the
Right.
baby. But if you're gonna feed baby animals, it's really good.
Yes.
And you can feed it to humans, but that's your own preference and
Yeah.
stuff.
But I would not recommend giving it to a baby human,
Yeah.
a young, someone that's under 3 years old.
Yeah.
Because it's not really good for them. So, Black Tropical said that's good information.
But we just enjoy sharing our way of
Mhm.
life and sharing our animals with people.
And y'all, I love sharing our eggs.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he does. He
we,
likes sharing
we
the
get
eggs.
so many eggs.
Yeah, we don't sell eggs.
We give them away as a
We
ministry.
was getting so many eggs that at one time that we had like 20 dozen of
Mhm.
eggs sitting on the counter. And so I just started taking eggs to church and start giving to people. I'm like, here's eggs.
Yeah.
And and now that since it's getting closer to winters and our chickens are stopped laying and our chickens are getting older,
Yep.
they're like, Steven, you have any eggs? I'm like, look, it ain't the time of the year. They're not
That's
they're not
right.
laying as much because they're so old.
Well, we did buy biddies in the spring last year.
Yes, we did.
And we're going to have them because you need to have at least 3 age of chickens.
Mhm.
So they'll keep reproducing. You got to have winter chickens and summer chickens. But we had some hungry dogs down the road decide to come eat our chickens.
Yep.
Free dried powder. Well, we don't have a free dryer.
But I would like to get one.
Ain't that true?
That's in the freezer.
We did water glass some.
Yes, we water glass some eggs. And we're going to try them out in a
Mhm.
couple months when we really can't get away. Because I ain't paying $5.
But it was so awesome because there's people in my church that there was a man who lost his job and everything. And there were some family members that was having a hard time, especially after the quarantine and stuff. It was so awesome because I was able to help them. And y'all, now that eggs are almost $5 or more a dozen, I was helping families that had foster kids and everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of the families in my church has like 12 foster kids. I'm not lying. And one lady told me she goes to 3 dozen a day.
Right.
Wow.
3 dozen a day. So I was able to give her like 2-3 dozen every week, or I would give her 3 dozens on Sunday.
Yeah.
I would give her 3 dozens on Wednesday
Yes.
when I saw her, and it was helping them out. One guy said that's all his family eat was egg sandwiches
Right.
because I was giving them eggs.
Yeah.
They had eggs and bread.
Right.
So that's why we was giving our eggs away. We had a lady offer to buy our eggs for a bakery, and we prayed about it and turned it down because we wanted to support our community and our family.
Right.
Because we're not trying to do this to make a buck or two. We're trying to use this to support our family and support our community.
Well, I thought about putting our eggs in the freezer. But what if the freezer goes out? Then your eggs goes bad.
Well,
Yeah.
And so that's why I decided to water glass them.
we just don't have a free dryer.
And we don't have one.
Free dryer, you can
Yeah, I know.
store them.
Yeah. One day we'll get that rich to get one. that's on my dream list.
That's on
Yes.
her dream list.
Plus a whole lot of other new things.
Yep.
New goat barns, new chicken barns.
Wait, she was dreaming this morning, telling me she wanted to get all this stuff. I'm like,
Money.
Yeah.
But
I said, you better go get you some credit cards. Cha-ching,
we're not.
cha-ching,
No,
cha-ching.
no credit cards.
No more in
nothing.
debt.
No. But
Uh,
I got a great big God's going to provide all my
Mhm.
needs.
Yeah.
that's true.
That's right. But we just love sharing. My kids always tell me, Mama, we don't have nothing because our neighbors has it all because you gave it to them.
I was growing up, people used to give me clothes and everything because they thought we was poor. I'm like, no, we just go without.
Yes.
That's right.
I don't need a PlayStation 5.
That's
Well, you
right.
never
I-
wanted one. You wanted to buy sign play.
I never thought I would get it one because I always grew up lower class, not with much money. But that gave me but that's one reason I'm able to do what I do and not worry. But what?
Wait a minute. My favorite toy was my dump truck. Thank you.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
but so we constantly learn how to manage and spread out our food and stuff, and that's part of the homestead lifestyle is
Mhm.
managing what you're eating, managing what you got.
And just remember, you don't have to do it all on a homestead.
Yeah.
That's why you have a community. Like I said earlier, sometimes we have lots of milk and our friends have lots of eggs and we share with one another. Or if I don't understand how to do something, I'll find somebody else that knows how.
And that's the cool thing. Like, if I wanted bananas, I can always tell my friends at Brack Tropical, say, hey, I need some bananas.
That's
Would
right.
y'all really take something for some bananas?
Yeah.
You want some
Because
goat
they got
milk?
bananas. Trust me, they got bananas.
In a couple months we'll have goat milk we'll share. Oh. And you know, another thing I want to do when it gets a little warmer away from holidays, I want to go visit our farm, our other friends
Yes.
and stuff,
Yeah.
and visit their farms and let them come here and visit us. Shoot, they might know something different than I do. I'm for sure they do know how to grow.
And since this Daddy's doing better and everything,
Mhm.
Yes.
lots of things is leveling out some.
Yeah. What she said.
Like Tropical says, they'll send us some free dried bananas.
We'll take them.
We'll take them.
We don't turn nothing down.
Did I mention I grew up poor? We didn't refuse nothing.
That's
We,
right.
we'll wake up to deers hanging in our trees and
That's
think,
right.
thank you, Lord.
You know, they really didn't grow up poor. They kid about that. But we just had a simple way of life.
Mhm.
Instead of going out and buying the mechanic stuff and everything, I think their favorite toy when they was growing up was a cardboard box.
Hey, look. That was my
It's a
space-
dog house.
That was my spaceship, my race car, and I had to kick Susan's dolls out of it. Because
Yes,
I'm like,
when-
this ain't no dollhouse.
When Stephen was at school, it was Susan's Barbie castle and her boat. And when Stephen come home, Susan had to take her dolls out. Unless she cried enough and he felt sorry for her and played with her.
Well, there's a story really about camera guy right here. He told me to go get 2 cookies.
Yes.
One for me, one for him.
Look.
I went and get 2 cookies, and what happened to my cookie?
You got it.
No, I
Yes,
didn't.
you did.
You ate it.
You ate it.
No, I didn't.
Oh.
I told Susan I would get in trouble for going getting cookies when I was a child. So I'm like, hey Susan,
You're
would
so
you go get
cute
Would
and
you go get 2
sweet.
cookies, one for her, and one for me? And if my daddy caught Susan grabbing the cookies, Susan would get in trouble. If I was to caught against the cookies, I would have to go outside and get a fig limb.
Peach tree, thank you.
And y'all, I don't know if y'all don't know this, but they hurt.
Oh,
Mhm.
but
But
you,
it's just always been our lifestyle,
yes.
Mhm.
and it's just always been what I knew. And people think it's crazy that. Sorry, y'all. Give me 1 second.
But you know, nowadays, kids when they're growing up, they don't have an imagination. They
No,
can't
they
go out
don't.
and take a cardboard box and play
Like-
with it.
Like we had a fall festival at my church, and we made soup. And everybody else brought soups, and all their stuff was from the store. They got their vegetables from the store. They got their chickens and the whatever they put in there from the store. I'm like, everything I put in my pot, other than a handful of stuff, was from the yard. My bell peppers was from the garden.
Mhm.
My okra was from the garden.
Your tomatoes.
Tomatoes,
Uh-huh.
whatever
And
I
your
put in there.
rabbit.
And then instead of using the typical meat, I threw rabbit in there.
He did.
And y'all, people started freaking out because they're like, "What kind of meat is this?" And they're like, "Steven said it's rabbit." And they're like, "Rabbit!" I tricked my pastor into eating some. He tricked his daughter and wife into eating some. And they're like, "I'm like, it's rabbit."
Yes.
I'm like, I used what I have around the yard. And I told my pastor, I said, who else over here can say everything they put in the pot came out of their yard?
Yes.
Nobody. Who else can say they killed that animal right there?
When we first started getting rabbit, my second child, he says, "Mama, you don't need rabbits. You're just gonna feed them. You're gonna do that." I said, "Wait, son."
And then
Wait, son.
he promised that he was never going to eat rabbit.
Yeah,
He
He's
did.
like, he swore up and down, he's like, I would never.
He said,
I
I'll
would
never
never.
help you clean it. I'll never help you do this, help you do that. Well, one day he came over and he thought he ate a rabbit. And he said, Mom, what was it? I said, a rabbit. He says, that's better than chicken. And in a couple of weeks, he says, next time I get back off the boat, he says, let's process rabbits. I said, really? He says, yeah. So he went out there and helped us process all this rabbit. And then he said, but can we eat them, Mama? And now when he comes home, he said, when's the rabbit cooked?
Now he wants to take the rabbit and have it for put in dumplings.
Yes. So, but it's just fun how we, learning to grow off the farm, live off the farm, that we can grow right here. It's just so rewarding to sit down and eat supper and say, we processed a rabbit, we grew all the fruit and the vegetables and stuff and the eggs that we have. I mean,
it's awesome when you go to Thanksgiving and say, hey, that turkey I raised.
That's right.
I know what that turkey ate. I know what went into that turkey. No hormones, no crazy stuff in it.
That's right.
I knew it wasn't raised to just be born and pop up the next day.
Right.
Yeah.
'Cause
we got a couple small incubators that we hatched a little bit of.
We did. We hatched some chickens this year.
So it's just awesome to know that everything's coming from your hands.
That's right.
Yes.
Yes.
And then we have some animals. We have the coon pigs and everything, and not really growing the coon pigs just for meat. We wanted coon pigs because Daddy likes pigs.
Yes.
Right.
So we just have the coon pigs for him, and the goats produce milk, and we do take some of the goats and use them for meat.
Yes, we do.
And some of the coon pigs we're gonna raise and process them, and the chickens we raise some of the chickens to process and everything. So everything on our farm has a purpose.
Yep.
So how you got so you got chickens you're gonna hatch out on Saturday? That's cool. We hatched out some, and it's just neat to watch them hatch out. When we candled them, this is the first time we candled our eggs. And it was so cool watching them inside.
Oh, talking about my brother was talking about the rabbits. We candled them around him. He was just right there.
I know, it was so fun. Ray, he don't like being on video, so we don't get to tape him. But he was right there. Look, you can see the heart beating. Look at that. It was so fun.
It was.
I mean, and my grandchildren, they're right there in it. Like Caden, y'all get to see him on our video. Little farmhand.
Hey, he loves the farm. He loves
it.
Does. He's like, Daddy, I want to go to Granny.
He likes to do.
I want to help feed the animals.
Oh yeah.
Oh, processing day is him.
He's out there doing his best processing. He does it all.
He likes everything. I mean, he's outdoorsy. He loves fishing. He loves.
Yes.
He
likes everything from dispatching to plucking to whatever he.
So I mean, and then Colton's more laid back and he likes more game and everything.
I think Caden's two favorite things: going fishing and coming to the grannies.
And playing with Marshmallow.
Marshmallow, his goat.
A couple of months ago, we processed a goat, and he come over. He says, "Granny, it wasn't Marshmallow, was it?" I says, "No." He said, "Okay, I can eat it. Where's it at?"
When we did the rabbits, he used to come over and play with the rabbits. He'd look over and said, "I'm tenderizing it." He said, "I want this rabbit to taste good. I'm tenderizing it."
And he'll go to the garden.
And then he'll come over when we have the turkey and said, "This one's Christmas, this one's Thanksgiving, this one's Easter.
And
what's another holiday? This one's Hanukkah."
Whatever that is.
You don't celebrate Hanukkah. or Kwanzaa or any of that.
Yeah.
But he said, well, I had to come up with some holiday. What was I going to do? Eat a St. Patrick's Day? I'm like, where did this kid come up with things? I'm like, it must run in Mama's genes.
Must.
But like we said, it's fun just sharing our way of life with people and letting them come and visit our farm and stuff. I mean, and we always want to go visit other people's farm and learn from them.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to come see the Black Tropical Farm homestead one day.
Maybe get some bananas.
That's right.
Bananas.
Banana chips sounds good too.
She laughed. They laughed. That's a long travel for some fresh bananas.
Ah, it's worth it.
It
Oh. Oh, wow.
So y'all, we enjoyed having this live feed and everything. We enjoy communicating and sharing our story and everything with y'all. So we got some other things we got to do today. So we're gonna go ahead and call this the end of our video. So
Yes.
if y'all will, please don't forget to
like,
subscribe,
subscribe,
hit that annoying bell.
bell,
And
And-
our favorite part is, and share.
share. Yes.
And y'all ready?
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.